Hello everybody and welcome to another one of IRONSHIELD Financial Planning's Fly on the Wall webinars. My name is Scott Plaskett and I'm a certified financial planner and the senior financial planner and CEO of the fee-based financial planning firm IRONSHIELD Financial Planning. If this is your first time tuning into a Fly on the Wall recording, let me quickly explain to you what this is. You're going to experience what it's like to be a fly on the wall during one of my update calls with a member of our Top Guns network. This network is my personal network of specialists. Every so often I ask a member of my network to touch base with me to bring me up to speed on the latest happenings in their area. And when they call me, I record the call so you can be a fly on the wall for that call. In today's episode, I have an update call with Charles Wilton, a portfolio manager at Raymond James Limited, a Canadian subsidiary of Raymond James Financial. Raymond James is one of the most respected investment management firms in North America. I love speaking directly to portfolio managers about their process. Process is so important to investing, and when I can get a portfolio manager to explain their process in plain English, we all benefit from this wisdom. Now, here's the call. Hey, Charles. So listen, thanks so much for taking the time today to just have a brief discussion on Viacom. I know it was a security that was in your portfolio. It's recently been removed from the portfolio. So I thought we'd just have a bit of a discussion around what it was around Viacom, what was happening with Viacom that sort of signaled, hey, this is the time to perhaps get out of the security, and here's why. So I'll just pass it over to you. We can have a brief chat about that and go from there.
Thanks. Viacom, the reason we bought it actually, Viacom, just a few years ago was trading at around $85. And then, October, April around 2016, it was trading around $45. And that came up with new constructs and that came up with valuable opportunity in terms of mispriced in the marketplace. So we bought it. And then you can see around March of last year, the stock was trading around $45, and then it had a fairly precipitous drop. And the drop came from the idea that the telecom model now, and for cable companies and for channel pay TV, is a thing called cord cutting. So up until now, what happens is you go to, whether it's Rogers or Charter or Viacom or Verizon, and you buy your bundle of channels, pay TV channels. But what's happening and what started last March is this idea of cord cutting, where companies were saying, like Charter buys stuff from Viacom, they're saying, well, our customers don't want to have to buy 10 or 15 or 20 pay TV channels that they don't want. They want to pick the ones that they do, which happens to change the business model. It changes the industry model, and it certainly changes the business model, especially for companies that are pay TV companies like Viacom.
So what you're basically saying is that, because we can now go and instead of, buying a full, suite of channels, we can then say, hey, well, all I want to do is I just want to watch that show. So I'm just going to buy, either that show or that particular whether it be Leafs TV or something like that. I just want those individual things. Is that kind of what you're saying? Instead of having to buy the package to get those individual channels, people are saying,
well, exactly. Yeah, the bundle. So cord cutting means unbundling. So the idea is that you're calling Rogers and you want some pay TV channels. Well, maybe you don't want Nickelodeon
right,
or VH1. If you don't want Nickelodeon and VH1, then you can't get the packages that you want until Rogers or Charter or Verizon say, okay, what we're going to do for Viacom, we're only taking 8 of your channels. But that means less revenue. That means a whole new business model. So with the advent of this massive change, and you can see it changing in this industry, even Disney now is going direct to the consumer. So instead of buying the Disney Channel on Rogers, you're going to be able to get the Disney app from Disney.
Oh, right.
So they won't be going through Rogers. So everybody's trying to get content to the point for streaming and for, but the pay TV companies that have the channels, if those channels aren't really worth something, it's a business model change. So now there is basically, in my opinion, no moat or no competitive advantage that Viacom has now versus what it did before.
Right.
So it doesn't meet the criteria of why we like the business. So we're going to see more and more of this happening. Obviously, as you see less and less coming from your TV and more coming on your phone and streaming, and the millennials aren't buying these things.
Sure. So it's just it's kind of the writing is on the wall, so to speak, but we just don't know, unfortunately, how it's all going to unfold. So because we don't have that consistency or that predictability, you're saying that it just doesn't make sense it's more of a gamble than anything. So it doesn't make sense to keep it in the portfolio.
The reason we bought it no longer exists.
Yeah. That's great. Well, I mean, makes total sense. So I appreciate you sort of taking the time just to go through that, because I'm sure people are sort of wondering that, hey, where'd Viacom go? And, what's the reason for the exit of that position? But it makes total sense what you're doing. And, I love to hear that it sort of doesn't the discipline is telling you that it's time to move on. And that's what we love about it. So any other comments on that, or does that sort of cover the rationale?
No, that covers it.
Yeah, great. Well, great, Charles. Well, thanks so much for taking the time just to go through that, and look forward to talking to you again soon.